True.
This is exciting. If you could do it all again, what would you do different?
So, with the news that Outer Banks Season 5 is officially the last one, fans are already buzzing with theories about how it's all going to wrap up. The creators Jonas Pate, Josh Pate, and Shannon Burke confirmed this will be the final chapter and said they're aiming to bring the Pogues' story to the conclusion they've been planning for years. That sounds like it could mean a happy ending for John B, Kiara, Sarah, Pope, and Cleo, maybe even getting Poguelandia back. But after how Season 4 ended, it's not going to be easy. So after the shocking death of JJ in Outer Banks Season 4, Part 2, the cast and creators opened up about the decision in an interview with Netflix's To Numb. Rudy Panko, who plays JJ, reflected on his character's death, saying that JJ wouldn't regret any of the risks he took in life. He described JJ as being loyal to a fault, always willing to go to extremes for those he cared about. Panko mentioned that when he first found out JJ was going to die, it made sense to him, given the bigger risks and higher stakes that the character faced. He also called it an honor to portray such a selfless character. The co-creators Josh, Jonas Pate, and Shannon Burke explained that JJ's death was always part of the plan for the show. While it was a tough decision, they said it sets up an epic final season and a story of redemption, honoring JJ's character and the friendship he represented. Josh Pate admitted it was hard because JJ was such an integral part of the ensemble, but that the death was necessary for the story to move forward. The creators also promised to honor JJ's legacy in the final season. Madison Bailey, who plays Kiara, and Rudy Panko both shared how emotional and tough it was to film JJ's death. Rudy said everyone was fully committed to making the moment impactful, and they felt the cast was all on the same page. The death raises important questions about sacrifice and what it means when someone close to you is gone. Jonas Pate also mentioned that JJ's death ties into one of the show's core themes, the Pogues' willingness to sacrifice for each other. It's a reminder of the mortality that runs through the show, with John B often reflecting on it. The creators also pointed out that this is the ultimate example of the characters doing anything for one another. JJ's death, though divisive, definitely changes the tone of the show. The lightness the series often carries is shattered, and while some fans may feel it was necessary, it ramps up the stakes for the final season, setting the stage for a revenge-driven storyline. It's a bold move, and the actors and creators clearly put a lot of thought into it. JJ's absence will definitely be felt, and it'll be interesting to see how this major shift affects the characters and the overall story moving forward. JJ's death has left the group reeling, and now they're heading into their darkest chapter yet. Of course, revenge against Chandler Groff is on the table, but there's a lot that could complicate things. For one, while Kiara and Cleo are all about justice, not everyone may agree, especially if it risks Sarah's pregnancy. And let's not forget, the Lupin Corsairs are still lurking around. It feels like the Pogues are headed down a dangerous, unpredictable road full of drama and surprises, but here's hoping they find a way to make it out okay. However, there is a rather wild fan theory that Kiara and Rafe could end up together, and to be honest, it is not as crazy as it seems. And to be honest, it's not as crazy as it seems. Ever since their whole kidnapping situation in Season 3, there's been this weird tension between them, like even as enemies, there was undeniable chemistry. Plus, Rafe's redemption arc showed Kiara softening toward him a bit, like when she freed him during that storm or saw him trying to make things right with Sarah. By the end of Season 4, both Kiara and Rafe are laser-focused on revenge, so there's speculation that Season 5 might have them teaming up, and maybe even bringing out Kiara's darker side. Since Rafe is already tied to the Pogues through Sarah, it wouldn't be a stretch for him to get closer to Kiara too. Some fans think he could even become her new love interest, filling the void left by JJ in a way that feels complicated but interesting. That said, we know Sophia is confirmed to return in Season 5 thanks to Josh Pate via Deadline, so there's a chance Rafe could stick with her instead. Either way, it's going to be messy, and we love that for Outer Banks. One of the big theories floating around about Outer Banks Season 5 is that it might be split into two parts, focusing on the Pogues' biggest battles yet. Since the group vowed revenge after Groff killed JJ at the end of Season 4, it seems likely the first half will revolve around tracking down the runaway villain. Once they've avenged JJ, the Pogues will probably shift gears to fulfilling his final wish, getting Poguelandia back. Right now, Season 5 is in pre-production, with filming set to kick off in spring 2025. The revenge mission could take the crew from Morocco to Lisbon, with a possible call to Shope for backup along the way. Catching Groff could also help clear their names in Kildare, which would be a huge win. If they can also take down the Lupin Corsairs and claim the Blue Crown, they'd have the resources to finally secure Poguelandia. But even with those potential victories, it sounds like Season 5 is shaping up to be darker and way more intense than just a simple revenge plot. Buckle up, because it seems like the Pogues are in for their riskiest adventure yet. That said, don't you think that Season 5 of Outer Banks is going to have a lot to live up to, especially with all the fan expectations? One of the big things people are hoping for is a reunion of the Cameron family. Sarah and Rafe have been working on repairing their relationship, so it's likely that we'll see them trying to bring Wheezy back into the fold. Both siblings have expressed a desire to honor their father Ward's wishes and keep the family together, which feels even more important now with Sarah's pregnancy and the weddings coming up, John B. and Sarah's, and possibly Rafe and Sophia's. We've definitely noticed the absence of Rose and Wheezy in Seasons 3 and 4, and fans have been vocal about wanting to see more of the youngest Cameron in Season 5. While it might have seemed like a stretch for her to come back, Sarah and Rafe's recent focus on family gives some hope that the Camerons will be reunited by the end. It's possible we'll finally get a bigger role for Wheezy, though it might just end with her reconnecting with her siblings and sharing in the royal merchant fortune left behind by Ward. One of the wildest theories for Outer Banks Season 5 is that the Pogues could use the Blue Crown's magical wish to bring JJ back to life. The Blue Crown, known for its immense power and the bloodshed it's caused, has sparked all sorts of wild speculation after JJ's tragic death. Some fans believe that Rudy Panko's emotional farewell to the character might be a clever distraction, setting up for a shocking return for JJ in the final season. If the show were to go full-on magic, bringing JJ back with a Blue Crown would be the perfect way to do it. But while this would definitely get a lot of fans cheering, it's a pretty big leap within the Outer Banks universe. The show has hinted at supernatural elements in the past, but most of these theories, like the Healing Shroud or West Gen Red being cursed, have been debunked. So while bringing JJ back through magic would be a bold choice, it would also mark a major shift in the show's tone. If they do go down this route, it'll be a real game changer for the Pogues' journey in Season 5. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.